Born in 46, raised up in the sticks, somewhere in North Carolina. I spent a lifetime making moonshine and smoking homemade cigarettes, soaking up the sunshine, drinking in the moonlight, sharing good times with his friends. One last liquor run, then he said he was done.
Right, welcome back. Okay, for Sunday this week I'd like to do something a little bit interesting. It's going to be a tool test or tool review, call it what you like. I've got a specific tool from Celia and I want to see if it actually works. I want to see if it does what it says on the tin. So I'm going to find a way of testing it out, and I'm going to test it if necessary to destruction, but not destruction of the tool, destruction of what it's supposed to do. So let me explain what I'm trying to do, what it's all about, and show you the normal solution to this and see if theirs is any better. Let's have a look. Okay, now you've all probably seen these. This is a go-to socket. You can buy these from eBay. They're quite cheap and they're a great way to get you out of trouble. The way they work is you put it on a bolt like that. It's obviously got a universal massive hole. It goes out to about 20 mil, and then you do up this little fastener by hand, and then you can put a ratchet on that and it will undo practically anything. Now they are very, very good because they'll grab hold of the bolt that is practically completely rounded. But obviously their Achilles heel is their bulk, their physical size. Look at that thing. It's quite a big old thing. And you're never going to get that down somewhere like a plug hole. And that brings me to the point. Several of you, probably 3 people, I think in reality, said that they've got Triumph Tigers trying to get the spark plugs out for a service, and when they found a spark plug, rung off. And that's a nightmare, an absolute nightmare, because you're never going to use one of them. There's no way on earth one of those will go over a spark plug in the first place, even if you could get it down the hole. You know, things like Suzuki Bandit, GSXR, that engine, you've got the plugs live right down a tube. You need an extension and a long socket like that to get the plugs out. So one of them, pointless. Obviously you're not going to do the center punch trick because you're down a hole and you really are stuck. Now normally the solution for a rung spark plug is cylinder head off. And that's just a nightmare of expense or grief if you're going to do it yourself. And if you can't, even then, when the cylinder head's off, if you can't get that plug out because it's properly welded in there, then it's a new cylinder head. Or butcher it and hope you don't bugger it and then still need a new cylinder. It's a horrible nightmare. So rung off spark plugs are horrible. But I think this little solution that we've got today might be possibly a way around it if they're not too badly rung off. So what I've got, normally the solution is this. So that's the kind of thing you need. And even the Gator socket, you've seen those, the Gator socket with all the springy pins in the end, even one of them ain't going to work because you're not going to get the spark plug, the ceramic bit, up inside one of them. It doesn't fit, I've tried. So you really need a regular socket that's got something special about it. And I've got some that claim to have something special. So let's show you what they are. All right, what I've got here from Sealy is what they have labelled lock-on sockets. Now these lock-on sockets, I was very interested in that. When I got these emails from you guys that have got rung-off spark plugs, I thought straight away, I definitely think they're going to work, but we're going to test them to see if they actually work. So I'm going to find, if I can, a way to put a bolt in there that's, I'm going to deliberately round it off and see if these actually work in practice. I'll show you close up inside what they actually look like. That's it, there we are. You see these little lines in here? They go all the way down inside the socket. That appears to be the only visual difference. I've seen sockets that are a physically different shape, like a little flower, they drive on the flats, all that sort of thing, but these look the same. For all intents and purposes, that looks exactly the same as that. The only difference is it has these little lines in. It's not any smaller. The walls of the socket are still flat, they haven't got a curve to them, so I would struggle to see how that works. I can't see how it works, how these little lines or these little ridges in there grab hold. I don't know, but they claim to drive, according to the packaging, see this? It says on there, it works on fixings up to 85% rounded. So let's see, shall we? So what I've got there is a piece of flat stock, 8mm hole, threaded out to 10. So there's an M10 thread in there. Gonna pop that in the vise, nice and secure. That gives me the representation of a thread and something you might have Alright, and bolted into it, and it's tight now because I can lean on it. Okay, now that is an M10 bolt with a couple of nuts as a stopper. Just going to wind that in. Right, now the idea here is to test if their claim on the packaging that it will grab hold of or it works on fixings up to 85% rounded. I'm going to round this off in a minute, but first of all, before I do that, I'm going to torque it up. So this is the idea. 67, 68, 70. No, because that's going to strip it. Right, there we are. Got it. Okay. Now that bolt is locked in there to 70 Newton meters and it's a perfect head. Let's round it off. Let's deliberately strip the corners off this and see if these actually work. Okay, here's a close-up of what we've done. Alright, that's the damage done to that bolt. And I've done that bit there all the way around. That really is wrung off. Now, pop it back in the vise. Wind it up. This one. That is pretty universally rounded. We'll take a normal ring spanner. Ain't going anywhere, open ender, kind of touches but just walks around it, so that ain't going to work. Okay, now we're going to start first of all, I'm going to try and undo that up to 70 Newton meters. That's what it was done up to 70 with a snap-on socket. So I'm going to use the same, and I've reversed the head. I've got a reversible head torque wrench, so I'm going to put it on left hand thread. So we can use the undoing force, and we'll start, snap-on socket, we're going to start, take it up to 20 Newton meters and see if that grips it or slips over the top. 20 is alright. Let's take it up to 30. 30 Newton meters of pressure. Yep, that's fine. Take it up to 40. Try again. Here we are. Let's see if we can get 35. Let's go back a bit. 35 Newton meters, which is half the torque that it was done up with. It still slips over. In fact, as it's now slipped over a couple of times, it's probably rounded it more. Go back to 30. Yeah, 30. So 30 Newton meters is all you're going to get on it once I've rounded it. So now's the test. Let's put the snap-on socket to one side. Here we go. Just for proof, pen. Just put the snap-on 17mm, and just remember that's what it was. I'm not using the wrong size or anything. That is a 17mm, and we're going to now use this Premier 17mm lock-on socket, and again it's got these little lines inside. There's no trickery going on that I can see. Just pop it in the torque wrench. You may as well start at 30. See if that grabs hold of it. $30. Let's go to 35. Does it click? Yep. Take it up to 40. So we're already locking on better than a snap-on six-sider. Yep, 40. Let's go up to 50. Go for broke, eh, Pen?
Let's try.
50 Newton meters. No. Hey, we've done it. We've done it. It's undoing it. Yeah. Wow. It's actually moving the bolt. So That clicks at 50, so we've locked onto the bolt enough to move it at 50 Newton meters. That has smoked the snap-on socket already. Let's go to 60. Yep, 65 Newton meters. Turning the actual bolt now. So that would undo the bolt. Simple. Come on. Yep. There it is. 65. We're going to get 70.
Wow, it's looking good.
Bearing in mind that is stripped to buggery. So 70 Newton meters. This is the pressure it was done up with. These lock nuts are holding it now. They're doing all the work. 70, come on baby. There you go.
Wow.
That's it. Torque wrench ain't got no more. So we've proved the point there, and that is that this lock-on socket, this Premier lock-on socket, will grab hold of that rung-off bolt up to 70 Newton meters and beyond, whereas this snap-on six-sider regular socket just slips around. It has the same amount of slop when you put it on there, but it must be something to do with those little grooves inside that just grabs hold of the chewed head. Now, there's one more test, isn't there? We've got to do a proper destruction test. Let's see if we can get a big breaker bar, and let's see if I can swing on that enough to snap the bolt off, and that will grip it in order to do so. Get the big bar. Right, I'm now putting lock nuts top and bottom. Double lock nuts. There we are. Locked all that in. And now we're going to see again, check that out, pen. The state of that head. Chewed out, baby. Right. Right. Now that bolt is absolutely not going to move. So let's see if we can snap it off using the big bar. I'm going to go for the short socket rather than the long one, because that will give me stability. Same size, just a quick check. Where are we? 17 mil on there. Same 17 mil, no extra trickery. Same as the one we've been using. Okay, let's get an extension on this. Drive reducer in that, because that's 1/2 inch drive. And there we are. Let's see how much of a grip this will get. So what I'm going to do, I want you to do that, pen.
Just in case.
Just in case. And in case the socket explodes. Well, something's twisting. Right. The actual bolt's rotating. Twisting the bolt in the rig. And there we go.
Oh, we've done it.
Actually done it. Unbelievable. Now, I'm going to have to get something out of there because it's a little bit jammed in. But we have actually sheared that off. We've actually twisted that clean off. And that's a stainless steel bolt. So let's get the head out of there. Right. There, got it. Okay, there's the head. Literally twisted and torn off. Check it out. That's a stainless bolt. No shearing, it didn't shear, or it just twisted off completely. Fresh, brand new bolt. And there's the original, there's another one of them, that's what it was. And you can check with the spanner there. It's the same bolt. That's the size, 17mm. And that's what we did to it. Rounded it so much, that's got no hope of touching it. And yet that still gets it now. Amazing. So there we are, conclusive proof, I feel. Now this is not by any means a scientific test, is it? Obviously. This isn't under controlled conditions or anything with adjudicators, but we're not about that. What I wanted to do was just show you one against the other. That is a 6-sided snap-on socket, and that slipped off or rounded round at 35 Newton meters. That's how much it had. That one didn't slip at all. It didn't slip at 50, 60, 70, nothing. It kept going with the big bar until I twisted it clean off and tore it in half. I think that is all the proof you need. That one of these, if you have a spark plug stripped down a tube, will get hold of it. So you can see that a spark plug, that will go up inside nicely and that will get it. So if you've got a spark plug stripped off down inside the cylinder of your Triumph or your Bandit, one of these is definitely that's all you need. That will do the job. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? So price wise, I think these come in, they're absolutely good value. What do they come in at, Pen? The short set was how much?
Just over £20.
Right, so that's that set. And they're 8 to 19mm inclusive. So you get the 15 and the 18 and all sorts. So it's quite a long range set. And the long ones?
Just under £30.
Under 30, so 50 quid for the lot. That's it. It's all the sockets you'll probably need, and they lock on to anything, even if it's part stripped. Love it. Why wouldn't you want them? Why wouldn't you use that? Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to put links directly under the video to those if you want to treat yourself. And I think our Penny Pit Stop has one more thing to talk about. Okay, so back to the sticker at the beginning. Suffolk and Cambridgeshire Bloodrunner. If those of you watching other countries don't know what a Bloodrunner is, or blood bikers, they are people who volunteer their time, their services, their money and their support to the National Health Service, to the emergency medical services, to transport blood products and various other things, blood and products, organs, all different things around for air ambulances, hospitals and emergency services. They are the biker heroes of our community. They truly are, and they are to be supported and commended. They do everything off their own back. It's all voluntary. They pay all their own expenses. They're not, as far as I know, paid anything for what they do. And we were contacted by our friend here, what's his name, Ben?
Pete.
Pete, and you got a message from him, haven't you?
Thanks, Pete, for all you do. It's much appreciated. And a special mention to his wife Caroline and his 2 children, Jack and Edith, for all the support they give him.
Absolutely. And if you see a Bloodrunner's stall or stand or exhibition at any of the bike shows, walk on over and drop some money in their box, because they only do it by donations. They don't earn any money for what they do. They take their lives in their hands for our greater good. They are, like I said, the biker heroes. Is there anything else, Pam?
What a wonderful way to end the video.
What a wonderful way. Thank you for watching. Take it easy, ride safe and keep warm. We'll see you next time.